The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
I got Kendall Gilding, formerly of Channel 7, joining us for the next couple of weeks. We've got Usman Khawaja.
Love my cricket.
T20 World Cup's on at the moment.
Particularly Test cricket.
Have you watched the Test on Prime?
I'm on it. I actually got a little cameo on season 2.
What do you mean?
Well, it was when Tim Payne was sort of in trouble for a few incidents, and a news clip of me reading the news that day is in the show.
Is it the actual news clip of when you were reading the story on
him
on Channel 7?
Yeah.
No, so they don't get you to redo it or
No,
anything? No,
they just take it from a bunch of media outlets, but it's like right at the start of season 2. And as a massive cricket fan, all my mates were like, "You've made it.
Yeah.
You have made it. You are on the Test."
That's pretty cool.
I was pretty stoked.
They are good, those docos.
They're so
aren't they? When
good.
you get to see sort of behind the curtain of what it's actually like.
Any of those sporting docos lately, amazing.
I was part of, I never featured on the screen, but we did a thing in Melbourne back for season 1 of Drive to Survive, and Daniel Ricciardo came. It was a car sales like presentation thing that Daniel Ricciardo was at. So I got to see, before it even was released, season 1, the cameras, they mic'd him up. There was like a guy following him around with a boom microphone, and so I was on there was 3 people on stage, and they cut me out, and they had Daniel Ricciardo and the other guy on Drive to Survive.
Oh, really?
I was spewing.
So what would that have meant to you?
I know, everything.
I made it onto the Wayne Bennett one for the Dolphins.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
on Stan. There's that doco there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to go watch that.
Yeah. I did a podcast.
What are you doing in it?
Well,
Okay.
same type of thing as you.
Yeah.
I did a podcast with Trad McLean, the media manager for the for the Dolphins, and they kept going back to the audio of Trad talking about what it would be like.
I was a television news presenter.
You?
Yes, on a film called... So I filmed it on Subdivision.
Oh, here we go.
It sounds like Luttsy making this stuff up.
This Australian film a while back. No, I had to go in and actually do it. Like I was acting as a
okay. Well, you do
news
have
presenter.
you do have a journalism
I do.
degree.
Thank you. And it was great. And then a day before the premiere, Ashley pulled me aside because it was his film that he wrote and starred in. He said, "Yeah, your scene got cut, mate. Not anymore."
I didn't make that decision, Kendall. That was made by the higher ups, but he's
cut from the film.
He's never forgiven
My
me.
scene.
You've got such a
I'm in
great
the credits.
newsreader voice too.
I'm in the credits, and I was never in the film.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
I said burn! It's cold in here. I said there must be some content in the atmosphere. Here we go.
This is where the crew
They just had a
teaches us a bit of gear. I saw
They
that.
had a coin toss of sorts back then.
Yeah, paper, scissors, rock off. See who goes first. So did you win or lose?
I won.
Oh, is it?
Did you want to go first?
Oh, it's
I just assumed that the winner would go first. We didn't really talk about it.
You get to choose.
Well, I heard the intro to this finishing up, so I want,
Do you want to go first?
I can go first.
You got audio, don't you?
So you
much
can go first. You
enthusiasm.
didn't-
I don't have it, so
didn't
that's
answer
No.
the question.
an issue
Yeah.
for you.
Kendall,
Well-
do you even know what's going on?
nope. There was some cute chant coming
Yeah.
into it.
Ashley,
so-
explain.
Well, so we do the content each day, and then these guys sit around and whinge that we don't do the stuff that they tell us to do. So this is their chance to come forward and pitch a story each.
Yeah.
Then you will choose out of the 2 stories between Lockie and Nick. You'll choose which one you want to hear. It's best that there's 3 of us that will vote. So majority wins. Then they get to share the story.
Okay.
If they lose, the loser will do it in the podcast after the show.
All right. Okay. Lockie, give
Yep.
us your best.
5 seconds.
2 iconic Queenslanders could be set to battle it out in court.
Time to spare.
Why'd you pause? Because you
I knew that there was time to spare. I didn't need to.
Dramatic effect.
2 iconic queen.
I think I know this one.
I know this one.
Yeah.
We all know this
I know it as well, yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
I think so.
Why did you nod when you didn't know?
No, I think
You
I
went,
know.
yes, I
Yes.
know. No, I don't.
That was like with the song before.
Yeah.
How do you not know the name of this song?
What is it?
I don't know.
No. I knew the lyrics. I didn't know the name.
Nick's standing there very patiently.
No.
5 seconds, Nick. You ready?
International City's new nightmare scenario could be its saving grace.
Very, very creative, Sal. I must admit.
Well, I know the other one, so I'm going to go Nick.
I'm going to go Lockie.
Kendall, over to you.
I'm going to go Nick.
Okay.
Back to reserve grade for you, Lockie.
Sorry.
See you in a couple
Sorry,
of weeks,
Lockie.
buddy.
Mostly because I actually don't remember what Nick said. That's how
It
confusing
was literally 30 seconds ago.
Something about...
you okay?
No, I was like listening going, what? Like as a journo, I'm like,
It was a bit convoluted, you're saying?
it was ABC and I'm more like Channel 7.
Okay, so you're a bit ABC. That's very true, actually. He's very ABC.
Okay.
Well, as someone who did 1 week's work experience in the 7 newsroom, you got to learn to pitch these stories, and sometimes it's just marketing. It's just how you sell it. Now, this is something I want to do another
You
week.
got a minute and a half, Nick.
Okay.
All I heard was international city.
Okay. Well, as
Yeah.
demise.
well, look, a little
know
play on the
what-
word nightmare. I inflected wrong. The mayor of the night. The nightmare is something that the city of Brisbane is looking at now.
Yes.
Well played. But look, JC from Powderfinger's been touted as someone. There's a few
Yes.
other candidates, but I feel like there's a man sitting in this room right now who could really use his platform to take control and be the new Night Tsar of the great city of Brisbane. Now, question without notice.
Ashley.
Ashley. No, well, look, mate.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Hasn't been in the valley since 1984.
Once you resell Tom Tate for the Gold Coast, then we'll talk. But
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now,
yeah.
David, question without notice.
Yes.
If I asked you one thing to do to change Brisbane's nightlife, what would you do?
The scanners, the lockouts business and the scanners.
They came through about 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
What would you do?
Well,
Get rid of them?
I don't know enough about it, but I'd get rid of them. Yeah, JC is your guy for this, but I'd get rid of them. Yes.
Okay.
Why? What happened?
No, nothing's happened. I just want to know exactly how you change, because we got 8 years to the Olympics now. And
Is this a story
or
I don't know.
Is it too late to get
it's
lost
not
in Kelly's story?
This is content.
I don't know enough about it other than what I hear from people that I do know saying that it's killing trade and stuff like that. Blah, blah, blah.
Kendall, how would you like to change the city's nightlife if you had the platform of
She
Night
does-
Tsar?
Obviously,
She doesn't
free
go
drinks.
out.
Yeah.
I want the drinks to
Free
be
babysitting after 5
No,
p.m.
hang on. Free drinks for the girls.
Oh.
I had to get the girls out. Free babysitting.
There we go. We'd get
Can we
you-
make a creche?
Night crash.
No.
There's a lot of rooms there at the Met. There.
What is he doing?
I don't know what the story is.
Is he doing his story?
What are we doing here? You're getting
I don't know what's happening.
Very cool.
Oh, the music's running out.
no!
So there was no story. You just wanted to speak.
No, there is an offer now for a nightmare of Brisbane, and I want to hear a few proposals.
So
to put
Brisbane was the iconic city.
forward.
And you're saying
Yes.
that, right?
Genuinely, Luttsy could be the mayor
I can't.
of
One
Brisbane's
of my great
nightlife.
mates is the guy that's going to get it. I can't go against JC, and plus I don't know anything about it. Really, he knows a lot about it.
Yeah, but you would be. I mean, you have spent a lot of time sort of out there over night time.
Surely there's things you've seen out there that you'd like. to
Oh,
get,
don't
like
say
to
it on
change.
air, buddy.
No, I'd be the worst nightmare of Brisbane. Like, it is not the job that I want.
Like immediately impeached.
Yeah, no.
Immediately.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
The T20 World Cup is on at the moment. It's getting to the pointy end. I think most of the
It is.
group matches have been
I
played.
think there's
or-
one more, then we're into Super 8, so 8 teams left essentially.
Yes.
Australia, of course, being one of them.
I think the United States have qualified too. I think
Correct.
the United States, in their group, they finished second ahead of, was it Pakistan?
It's bizarre,
Yeah.
that some of the teams that are coming through.
Usman Khawaja is one of our finest cricketers, and he's been covering it all, of course, and he will feature in that documentary that Kendall was a part of season 2 on Prime, and the T20 World Cup is live and exclusive on Prime Video. So, good morning, Usman. How you going, mate?
Yeah, cheers, thanks. How are you? What's this documentary? You've caught me off guard here.
It's the test.
test.
The test.
Oh, right, sounds good. I feel like I'm right in the mix of it.
You're in that. You're in the test.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some pretty good acting this way, actually. Have you seen my ads on Amazon?
Did
They're
you
pretty good.
Did you feel like when the camera's on you during that, were you acting or was it the real Luttsy?
Nah, I was acting. I was doing it for the people. Look, I used to joke around when I was younger, acting all the time, so it's quite fun doing it on TV. I just glad I didn't make a fool of myself.
And Kendall Gilding's in here, and she's this week, and she claims she made some sort of cameo in season 2.
Guys, I don't want to have to bring it up.
Do you remember Usman or?
He would not.
When?
I don't want to. It was about the Tim Payne scandal, and as a newsreader, they put a clip in there. Not quite the
Stitch up.
cricketing glory that you got, Uzi.
You still?
Yeah, I mean, it's counted. Did you get your cash for it?
They didn't even tell us it was happening. I got texts from the premiere, people being like, "Oh my gosh, you're in the test," and I kind of freaked out a bit.
You should got money for that.
I remember swinging a cricket
It must just
bat
be public
around.
domain once you read it on the
I guess
news.
so. Yeah.
I guess.
Well, originally in the first one, if any of the boys were in it, even for like 5 seconds, they got paid to be in the whole documentary. So everyone's trying to sneak their heads in at some point. the second test documentary where I came back in the Aussie team, I wasn't playing the Ashes, but I came back in. This is just before I played. And me and Michael Neeser were doing everything we could to like get Paddy like drinks and to stand behind the camera, and we kept walking past each other. And I think it was about 80 grand you get if you got in the scene. So we were just walking past going 80 grand, baby.
You keep trying to schedule meetings with Pat Cummings. What do you want?
Like,
What do you
honestly,
want?
we were trying to do everything. I wish I could see the
You were
outtakes. That'd be
helping him.
hilarious. It'd be like me stretching in the background, Paddy having conversation with the coach.
Well, you're not even playing. You just pipe up in team meetings just with these big speeches.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
Worth it.
Hey, this T20, if you've missed cricket for a few years and you've looked at the final 8 teams in the world, you think, what on earth's happening? Afghanistan, Bangladesh, the United States? I guess it's good for the game, given that there's just more countries competitive now, like as opposed to probably 15 or 20 years ago when the top 4 or 6 were battling it out.
I mean, credit to world cricket. I think T20 cricket has opened up the doors for so many different countries. And now when I see Afghanistan and Bangladesh, it's not a surprise. They're good T20 teams. And even I'm looking at it now, I'm like, Afghanistan could beat Australia when I look at it. I mean, they probably should have been in Australia. No, they should have been in Australia in the ODI World Cup last year when they dropped Maxwell twice. And then obviously Maxi played one of the best innings ever. But they should have won. So they're a pretty good team, pretty good side with lots of skills. And Bangladesh is the same. It's USA, which is the one that throws you off a little bit. You weren't expecting that, but
So what have they got?
America, they found a way, didn't they? The home team, they beat Pakistan, which was a big game for them because if Pakistan won that, I mean, they probably that was the game. They won that, they would have been in the next round. They shouldn't have lost the game against USA, but they did, and so now USA are up in the final group stages, which I think is awesome for the game because they obviously played the first round a lot. They played in New York, they played Dallas. And played games in the US, and I'm telling you, when I was over there, I'm walking around, and these people had no idea about cricket. I was interviewing them in Times Square, and one of the guys, I'm like, "Do you know anything about cricket?" He's like, "No, I have no idea." But didn't we just beat Pakistan? And I'm just like,
that's
"Yeah, you don't know anything about cricket, but you know that, don't you?" You could just see him just in his head going, "America."
Yeah, and the crowds look good. I've got mates that have been working over at those grounds, and they've put on a real show. That they look good. The crowds are up.
Have they drawn a crowd? Have they?
They've drawn good crowds.
Really?
Yeah. I was in New York for 2 weeks, and when I went, the big game was Pakistan India. That was packed, and the ground was looking beautiful. The wicket was a little bit dicey, but the contest was still awesome, and people were on the edge of their seat. And it was bizarre. I was in, Manhattan, New York, and I'm driving to a cricket game. It's like, I never thought I'd ever say that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, nuts.
I don't know if you saw the footage too, but when they were in New York and they were trying to teach the locals what it's all about, we spoke about it last week, and Dale Stein just happened to be walking past and some local was trying to teach him how to bowl and correcting him like one of South Africa's best.
Poor fella, he just saw a little punter came down the street, and he's like, it was funny, he hit the stumps on the floor. He's like, no, you have to bounce.
Yeah, well, as we said, down to the final 8 teams or thereabouts, Luttsy, one more game to go.
Oh, but the Super 8's been decided.
It's all been determined.
Australia play Bangladesh on Friday, and then from there they go to the semi-finals and the final. I think the final's being played on the 27th of June. So it all wraps up over the next 10 or so days. And Ash, as you said, Prime Video, the great coverage. It looks sensational, so make sure you check it out when the Aussies play in their Super 8 game. Thanks, Susie. Good on you, brother.
No worries, guys. Have a good day.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
We had the National Swimming Championships, Olympic trials, I should say, last week at Chandler. Well patronised. Is that the word?
Yeah. Lots of people
Good
out there.
crowds too.
awesome coverage.
How many? I don't know what Chandler holds at the moment. I think it's probably 2,000 or 3,000. I guess would be the maximum.
Yeah, it gets a good atmosphere though.
Chandler, good. And I got to say, congratulations to I guess it's Swimming Australia and the people because it looked fantastic.
It did.
The TV coverage looked fantastic. So well done to.
Do they light up the pool?
Channel
9.
Do they light the pool up?
They
Because
did. It looked
Yeah.
illuminated almost, didn't it? And then they do this great thing where the crowds. I think it started in COVID when there was no crowds. I went to a couple of those international swimming league things over in America where they darken the crowd, so all you see is the spotlight, like almost like a Broadway,
Very theatrical,
Broadway, like Broadway, which was pretty cool. Anyway, so that's great. But what's happened this week is something that has made me completely reimagine one particular Olympic venue for Brisbane 2032. And the reason I say that is because last night, or yesterday I should say, was the first day of the US swimming Olympic trials.
I see where you're going with this because you've spoken about it off air. This is very interesting.
And they had yesterday, and I know this because I've got people that I work with, it's the same people I'll be working with in Paris at the Olympic Games this year are there working at this event. And they actually had the record attendance, the largest crowd to ever attend an indoor swim meet at a stadium, essentially in Indianapolis.
Oh.
Nicolaitis, the name escapes me. You said it to me
I
earlier.
think it was Lucas Oil Stadium.
Lucas Oil Stadium, which was the home of the Indiana Colts in the NFL. They've
Really?
dropped in a pool.
They've put a pool in there.
They've
Isn't
dropped
that
it
amazing?
in, and they've got a record attendance yesterday on day one of 20,689.
1,000 people at a swim meet.
What was the crowd at the Sydney Olympics for the swimming?
I'm going to say it was under 20 because that would be the
Yeah.
world record. I'm going to say it was around about 16,000,
Yep.
17,000 maybe because they actually had extensions and stuff like that.
I mean,
See if you can
swimming's
find out.
easily one of our most popular Olympic sports.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you-
It's in Australia, it'd be number one.
You know, so like...
Well,
Bill-
put it this way, it's the only one on Channel 9 live. You know, so
Yeah,
if it was
for the
athletics,
trials,
if
right?
athletics,
Yeah.
athletics would have been, and it wasn't. So swimming is undoubtedly our number one Olympic sport, which makes me all of a sudden say, okay, let's take a look at the scheduling for Suncorp Stadium for Brisbane 2032. Drop in a pool and we would sell out. I'd go as far as saying
17,500 in
there you
Sydney.
go, 7.5.
Yep.
I would say that if you're looking, and I'm paraphrasing here, so there's 7 days of swimming at the Brisbane 2032 Olympics, 14 sessions, morning and night. I'm saying you definitely sell out 50,000 seats every night. You probably sell out or go close to selling out 7 heat sessions during the day. Period. That's it.
yeah, I reckon you're right.
I mean, we sold out Magic Round as if we can't fill Suncorp Stadium for swimming in 14 sessions.
It's
would
like
go
the
nuts.
number one ticket in town is to get to go to the swimming.
Like, how could it
Yeah.
not? How could it not sell out? Like at
What's
the Olympics.
scheduled to be at Suncorp during the games at the
soccer?
moment?
Sevens?
Some football and some
yeah.
sevens, but I mean that's stuff that can be
Week
moved
2.
around. In Paris, the rugby sevens, which is what I'm working at, is at the Stade de France, essentially the first half, and then it switches to athletics for the second half. But it's still malleable what they do with that. Would they get sellout crowds for everything else at Suncorp or anything else for the Olympics at Suncorp Stadium?
And just location.
Maybe a football final, but
Just location. Like for all the people that want to go to the swimming, you're just in the thick of the city and,
Yeah, I think it's then there's a question of what about the legacy of swimming in Brisbane, and that's a fair point. And there's no reason why we can't build a state swimming centre. If Victoria Park happens, we can still have a state swimming centre there. That to me plays a different role to the few weeks in 2032 where we can showcase our biggest sport, Olympic sport, in the biggest stadium that we have.
Yeah,
And I think it'd look.
You could have world record crowds every day.
I think it'd look
for
incredible.
swimming.
I think it'd be absolutely incredible and a game changer and something we can hang our hat on to have swimming at Suncorp Stadium in 2032.
Is this the first time that it's been done that a drop-in pool has been used at a football stadium?
At a football stadium for swimming, yes. I'm unaware of anything else. It's
So
happened at arenas before. Like it's happened at Rod Laver Arena for the World Championships. That was the Susie O'Neill pool where they dropped in a pool, and I've seen it at. I've been to the one at MGM Grand in Las Vegas for International Swimming League, which, because of COVID, had bad crowds, but essentially could have had like a 20,000 seat crowd, but not at a football stadium.
My point was going to be, given that the next Olympics after this one in Paris is in LA. What's LA doing for the swimming? Are they going to incorporate that same thing?
It's a good question. I don't know whether they could potentially have it at like SoFi Stadium, which would be nuts. But I'm not sure what their plans are yet. But it's certainly I'm doing the Olympic podcast with Chris Jones today, and that's what we're talking about.
I like it. This is the pie in the sky thinking we need, Luttsy.
It's got to be outside the box.
It does.
Kendall, I reckon. It's it's the Olympic Games, the biggest show on earth, and
It makes it more accessible for people too to be able to get tickets to the swim. All of a sudden,
it's Brisbane people be able to go to the swimming instead of it being a 5,000, 10,000 seat capacity where literally no one other than Olympic family gets to go. Anyone in Brisbane almost can go to this if they make it Suncorp Stadium.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
Jode, my wife, is. She said to me on the weekend, she's going through a bit of a thing at the moment because she's a marathon runner and she's been hampered this year by injury. It's like the only year that I can remember for the last. I don't even know. I don't even know how many years that she hasn't run a marathon. And
She ran a half.
yeah, she ran the half, but she pulled out of that because she's got this hamstring problem that she just can't deal with. So she's trying to find something different. But she's extremely disciplined, Jode. She always has been. And the whole time I've known her, she never has got injured. And she'd run 10K every day, without exception, no matter what. And not necessarily for the health benefits, but just because she loves it. It like clears her mind, you know. And obviously she's incredibly disciplined, but it's left a void that she's trying to fill. And she said to me on Sunday, she goes, I want to get really fit, you know. And I go, you are really fit, like, you know. And she goes, no, I really want to get fit. I'm going to do this challenge. And I was like, oh, all right. And she goes, do you want to do it with me?
What sort of challenge?
I didn't know. I had no idea.
I swear I've seen her on her Instagram say, my marathon years are over. Like she's almost hung up the hockers or whatever the hell you guys wear.
Yeah, the hokers. Yeah,
whatever they're called.
Big cushy
So I mean,
shoes.
but if you
They're good for your knees.
So what can she do that has a different level of strain on her body?
Well, I suppose there's like weight resistance, but please tell us, what have you agreed to do?
I just said, I went, yeah, okay, because I want to get fit too, but I didn't know what it was that I was agreeing to. And she literally just sent this to me this morning, and I'm just having a look at it. I'm going, I can't do this. I've never heard of this, but it might be one of those things. Has anyone ever heard of a bloke called Andy Frisella?
No.
If anyone's listening, has anyone heard of the 75 Hard Challenge?
Is this the latest CrossFit?
13, 24, 10 is that number. Give us a call.
Luttsy,
It's got the word hard in it.
it's got the word hard in it, for crying out loud.
And 75.
There's 75 hard. These are the rules for the 75 hard. This is what she's doing. That she wants me to do. There's 5 critical tasks.
You can't do that.
I don't know. I'm out.
You're already out.
You wait till you hear this. And if anybody has done this, the 75 hard, give me a call. And don't lie.
04.
Yeah. Task number 1 is to follow a structured diet. And then it says you do it for 75 days with 0 deviations. Absolutely no cheat meals, 0 alcohol.
Who sets the diet? Do they do it? Or
It says your diet can be whatever you want it to be, keto, paleo, vegetarian, etc., as long as it is aligned with your goals.
So they're just suckers for punishment. We don't care how you punish yourself.
Yeah, just you stick to this diet.
Sounds punishing.
Task number 2, well, I mean, at the end of the day, that is just sticking to a sort of structured diet, you know.
So it's discipline.
Yeah. Task number 2, this is a tough one. 2 45-minute workouts per day. 1 must be outside.
It's just time
It
consuming.
goes regardless of the weather or the circumstances you find yourself in. You have to, so, you know, I mean, I could do the gym then have to go outside and do something for 45 minutes.
You have to,
Go for a surf.
just the time though.
Surf. I mean, it's all
your work.
It's,
Like that's hard, right?
Fishing's exercise.
Well, it goes on about that. Task number 3 is to drink a gallon of water.
Someone do the conversion.
Yeah, what's
What's
that? Is
that?
that about 3 litres?
What's a gallon?
Drink a gallon of water each and every day will teach you discipline.
3.5, nearly 4 litres.
It's nearly 4. It's 3.7 litres.
Oh.
That is absurd.
What do you mean it's absurd? You're carrying a 10-litre
Yeah.
bloody...
I am carrying a
water
Stanley.
bottle right
It's
now.
only 1 litre. You want me to fill that 4 times?
It's 1 litre? You
Yeah,
sure?
Positive.
Yeah.
It's like half a
I know,
swimming
because
pool,
it
that
falls
thing.
over in my car and spills everywhere every day.
Right, okay.
I'm telling you, Jode will do. She will do this. This is.
Well, in theory, you can... The water, okay, it's a lot of water, but it's not as if water's pretty easy to drink.
If you have a job, though, the
that's
productivity
my
loss
problem.
on going to the toilet
Yeah.
on 4 litres.
Yeah, I can't really rely on that.
cares
I'm a
about
breakfast
that?
radio
No.
host.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not his
I've
problem.
got more than enough time.
Yeah,
That's
he's got
true.
all the time in the world.
Task number 4 is to read 10 pages. You must read something that is non-fiction, educational, and can be used to improve any area of your life.
I got plenty of books. I'll throw some your way.
We'll do
10 pages, that's
Smarter
easy.
Than Suze
That's
twice
easy.
every morning. There's 2.
Yeah, does that count? Do live reads count?
And also, whilst exercising, could you have an audiobook in your headphones?
That is not what reading is.
Yes.
With your eyeballs.
Yes.
Listen, I know
Yeah.
your site's going, but
Yeah,
you
we've discovered
can't go
that this
full
morning.
It's
audiobook
all
on us.
going,
And what's number 5?
Number 5 is to take a progress picture. If you'd be able to look back and see how far you've come and what you've done. And then it goes on about that. But then the other part of it is it says, somewhere or other along here, it says if you do, it's 75 days straight. But if you don't do it each day, in other words, you get to day 36,
Start again.
you've got to start again.
It's a life overhaul. This is not
I mean,
just...
it's too much.
It's not exercise. It's actually like...
It's discipline.
We want you to be a different person.
Well, people have done it.
Yeah, well, so they say. Jess, out of Caboolture. Oh,
Hey,
no,
guys.
your brother did it, did he?
Yeah, so my brother is a big Andy fan, and he just completed his second round of it at the beginning of this year.
Hard 150.
What was that, sorry?
Don't worry. Just doubled it.
Yeah, there's actually...
Very hard
there's
150 at
actually
school.
3 phases to it.
Mm.
So
So
once you complete the first phase, there's another 2 parts to the challenge as well.
It goes on, does it?
Is that in amongst the 75 days or...
No, so phase 2 and phase 3 actually have their 75 days too, but there's different parts to it. I'm not sure what is involved in that, but yeah, he reckons it's changed his life, but very, very, very difficult.
Yeah. Go to Kate. Kate, it says that you've done it.
I have, Ash. I've done it probably not, I'll be honest, probably not 100% to the T. Like the gallon of water, I changed it to 2 litres a day, so I made a very slight variation. But I set my ground rules right at the start and I stuck to it for the 75 days. And it wasn't easy, but it was worth it. Definitely saw some benefits at the end of it.
Health benefits.
I'm back bigger and better than ever now that I'm not doing it anymore. So I'm tempted to get myself back on the wagon and do it again.
So you did it purely for health and, whatever, weight loss.
Yeah, I needed to drop a couple of kilos, and it was a good challenge to keep me focused. And some things like the reading. I'm not a reader, so for me to read 10 pages a day was really tough to push myself to do it. So just some things that some people find.
Luttsy feels the same way,
Some
don't
people
worry.
find easy. Yeah. So some parts were easy, other parts were tough.
But
so
just real quick, Kate, this Andy, whatever his name, Frizella, I'd never heard of him. Like, who is he? How is he on everyone's radar?
Honestly never heard of him. I had just seen the challenge come up through a friend of mine and went, oh, that looks interesting, I'll give it a go. So I honestly don't know anything about him at all, but I thought the challenge was just something really interesting to try.
How does Andy monetize it? I'm not asking you that.
I think
Kate.
there's an app. I think you can actually
right.
download a 75 Hard Challenge app that keeps you accountable. To be honest, taking the selfie every day was hard work too. Just
What
remembering
is it,
to
a
do that
selfie every day?
Yeah, you got to take a progress shot every day
Oh,
for
no.
75 days.
Oh, that's what broke him.
How was that hard?
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.